I've been hearing this message real clear over the last couple of weeks. And I think that I was waiting for more clarity to come in before I understood what it was I was being told. What I do know is that when I hear a message, I know that it's not just for me, I know it's for other people. So the message that I've been hearing over and over again is keep going. That's it. Period. Keep going, period. There wasn't no backup message, there wasn't anything. And so it made me sit with that for a minute and think about why am I being told to keep going? This is what I came up with. Sometimes we look at obstacles in a way that we shouldn't look at obstacles, right? We look at obstacles as something telling us, well, maybe we shouldn't be doing this thing. Obstacles make us have self-doubt. It make us doubt our abilities and our capabilities. It makes us say, well, maybe I'm not qualified to do this thing because if it was meant for me, wouldn't it be easier to do it? And that's when we start taking our faith and we start to not use it the way that we say we do, which is if we have faith, we wouldn't worry about obstacles, right? And so for me, that was something that I had to understand. And so I decided to look at it and say, well, okay, Yashika, how do you look at obstacles differently? So I know that obstacles from just learned experiences is things that's telling me that if you want this bad enough, you're going to keep doing it. You're going to keep going. If you want this bad enough, despite these obstacles, you're going to keep going. You're going to push through them. You're going to do the thing that you need to do. You don't know what that look like. You have no idea what it looked like, but you know that you have to keep going no matter what, right? Now, what I also know about obstacles is that obstacles come in our lives, whether or not we are moving or not. And what I mean by that is this: if I have a goal in my mind to say that I want to reach this particular pivotal in life, and then obstacles keep coming in my way because I'm doing the things, I'm making the moves, I'm making the connections, I'm doing whatever I think I'm supposed to do in order to get to the goal. But for whatever reason, it seems like I run into obstacles. So I said, well, what if I look at obstacles and use them as a way to say, okay, this is an obstacle, but this obstacle is put in place because it's teaching you resiliency. It's teaching you how you need to be able to build this muscle. I want to also say that sometimes obstacles put in your way can be a way for your plan to change, not necessarily the entire plan, but the route in which we get there. Because, see, here's the thing, the goal is the same always. How we get there can be adjusted. It makes me think about my youngest son when I would tell him about playing football. And his thing was he wanted to play football. He wanted to, get drafted and make money and be rich and have this, all of this, whatever that came with being a football player. And so one day he and I were talking and I asked him, I said, so is your goal to play football or is your goal to be rich? He says, well, I want to play football, but I really want to be rich. I said, because would you play football in the way you want to play it at that level if it wasn't paying you money? He was like, I would probably just do it for fun. I said, so your thing is you want to be rich. So here's the thing, being rich is several ways to get there. Is being a professional football one of them? Absolutely. However, that's not the only way to get there. So, like I said, the goal is the same. The road you take to get there can change sometimes. And so sometimes we might see an obstacle as a diversion to another route. And that's okay, but only you know that. Only you know that. And nobody else can tell you what you're supposed to be doing. You cannot allow obstacles to make you doubt yourself. You cannot allow obstacles to make you doubt your abilities, your capabilities, your strengths. You cannot allow any kind of obstacle to make you feel like you have to look at the left and the right and see what everybody else is doing and then start comparing it. No. An obstacle is just that, an obstacle. because we already know that on the other side of that obstacle, there's something bigger. So we already know obstacles gonna come, like I said before, whether you moving or you're not moving. You could be sitting in the house doing absolutely nothing, and you look up and you boom, you got a leak in your ceiling. That happened to me, by the way. 10-year-old house, I got a leak in my ceiling, right? I ain't done nothing. I ain't moved. I ain't did nothing. That's an obstacle because I already know that that leak in my ceiling in my house that's only 10 years old, that's going to cost me money. That's an obstacle, right? That's an obstacle. But it's one of those things where I have to patch it up and I have to keep going. And it's just that simple, right? So, like I said, whether we're moving or not towards the thing we said we're going to do, an obstacle is going to come. So, why not do the thing you said you're going to do, right? Why not? Mm-hmm. Obstacles going to be there anyway. You can't doubt yourself because when you doubt yourself, who's going to be the one to tell you that you're good? You. So you're the one that tell you when you're bad. You're the one that tell you when you're good. You're the one that tells yourself what you need to do more of. Don't you let anybody else tell you that because sometimes people can be an obstacle as well. Okay? So only you know what it is you're supposed to be doing. And that's the thing about it. Keep going. Period. Keep going. That's the message. It's clear. Keep going, period. And so listen, like I said, I already know when I'm giving a message, it ain't just for me. It's for me to share with the world. So listen, I don't know who this is for, but I know this is for somebody. This is for somebody because why? They told me to tell y'all. All right. So listen, I'll catch you guys in the next video. Bye.